Hey, y'all, and welcome to another episode of the Millennial Management Podcast. I am your host, Brandy, the Millennial Manager, and today is Friday for everybody because I've been home with an upper respiratory infection, okay? Been down bad since Tuesday. I've not been able to record a podcast for Patreon. This is like where I promote Patreon. I had to miss my episode this week because I was down, okay? But I will make sure that there's an extra episode available for Patreon to make up for that next week. Okay, so if you would like to join Patreon, it is $6 for you to join. We also go live. We had a really good conversation last week on our live. It was basically like an Ask Brandy live. So there are some lives that I come in with the topic. And then there are some where they're led by the audience. And we had such a good live. It was probably about 30, maybe 30 in and out. From what I could tell. And some people just watch. Some people, just kind of listen in. And then we have some people who have real serious like work situations that go on and they ask questions. And so we kind of focused on a lot. So there's not a particular area because I want to give you that free space to communicate. So if you have something that you would like to discuss, if you have a concern, join Patreon because we do go live frequently inside of Patreon and have Ask Brandy sessions, okay? All right, so for our first email of the episode, we have, okay, Miss Bree. I know she meant Miss B, so I'm not offended. But she said, okay, Miss B, we're going to change it. First off, I love your post and everything that you do to keep us on game. Girl, thank you. Or ma'am, thank you. Because she said she is 57 to be exact. And she online listening to me. God bless you. Okay. Because I know sometimes when you are younger, it may be a little harder for people to listen. But thank you for listening and supporting. I really appreciate it. But she says that she is an older 57-year-old. Took an interim job in December 2024 because she was tired of driving 70 minutes away. And her previous employer, after 14 years of service, said that she had reached her earning cap or her earnings, the top of her earnings, and would not be able to earn any more money despite being above expectations in performance reviews due to salary caps. And y'all, this is, before we continue, I just want to say this is like a thing that happens, okay? This is very normal. So if your boss is telling you that, they're not lying. In some industries, there is a cap on how much money you make. In some positions, there is a salary cap. And so there are things that you can do to negotiate a higher compensation, like comprehensive package for yourself, or compensation package. I'm losing my words, but there is something that you can do to negotiate that, right? You can throw in maybe extra PTO days, the ability to work remote, a couple days out of the week. Like, you can figure out where you want to go from there and see if your company is able to meet you, even though you have hit a salary cap. Okay, let's continue. At the end of the 3 months, my new supervisor called me in. Love the work that you're doing. No one in this role has accomplished more than you have in such a short time that you have been with us. Will you be willing to stay another 6 months? We cannot promise you another extension because of budget concerns, but we really hope that you will stay on until September 30th and then maybe find a way to keep you on longer. Not permanently. Okay. If state funding becomes available, do I stay and hope for the best and join my 15-minute commute? Or do I start the job search all over again, knowing all of the isms, ageism, sizeism, racism that are all outside? Thank you for your wisdom, Betty. Betty, let me tell you something. I definitely think that you should take the offer, okay? Because that gives you 6 months, right? 4, really, of peace. Because the last 2 months, you need to be looking for another job, okay? But I definitely think that because they are offering you that, I think you should take it, and also realize it for what it really is. She was upfront with you and told you that if funding is available, they are able to do XYZ. Okay, so that lets you know right then. She's not saying that we have the funding, I got this. Like, she's not giving you false promises. She immediately told you that if funding is not available, then baby, I ain't got you. Okay, but if it is, this is a permanent position for you. Now, would I just wait until September 30th to start finding me another job? Absolutely the fuck not. Okay, you need to ride this little wave, enjoy it for a little bit, but about 90 days in, you need to start the process of finding you another job. And they know 90 days in too, whether or not they're going to have that money. So September is just like how long they need you to work, but they should know whether or not they're going to have funding before that. So it should not take that full 6 months for them to recognize whether or not funding will be there. But if they trifling, I hope they not. But if they trifling, they going to hold out and be like, we just found out. Like, how you just found out on September 30th? Ain't no way. But if they are decent people, which it seems like she gave you a warning, right? If this does not pan out, like, there's nothing here for you, unfortunately, because of budget cuts and because just the overall budget altogether, we have to have funding for another position. She was upfront. So, I mean, to me, I would take it because it's an opportunity. And I would ride that wave. Also seeking other employment because you can walk and chew gum. Okay? We don't have to just accept it and not do anything else. You can walk and chew gum. Go and take that job, and also make sure your ass is interviewing so that you do not lose the footing, okay? You don't want to lose your security in this situation. So definitely make sure that you are interviewing. Make sure that you are actively applying. And if anything does open up at that job in between then, make sure your name is on the application, okay? Okay. All right, and on to our next email. This one says, hey, Miss Brandy, hello. So I recently had a surgery almost a month ago, and my doctor had provided the company with a completed ADA certification. I do not qualify for FMLA currently due to being part-time. They keep saying that the paperwork the doctor provided is insufficient or incomplete. The doctor has even provided my medical records. Keep in mind, this is almost about a month now. We have been going back and forth, and this has been the most frustrating process. If this is not approved, I'll be subject to attendance policy, so I'm being told. I was out for 2 weeks. The company fires people if they have been absent for anything. Any advice? Thanks. Okay. So if you have to be off due to a medical procedure, okay, your company should have clauses for that. So I think they just yanking your chain at this point. They're making it difficult. You had a surgery. You have documentation. They're yanking your chain at this point. Like, if I were you, I would sit down with the director of HR, not your manager, okay? Sit down with the director of HR, and I would call the doctor's office on speaker, and let's go over this form. What is missing? Okay? Make sure the doctor has a copy in front of them, or the nurse manager, whoever is managing for the doctor, and ask them, what are we missing on this form? Call them on speaker. Set up a meeting with your HR department. This seems like they are just yanking your chain, okay? You said that they fire people that are absent regardless of why you are absent. So have that meeting. If they try to suspend you, fire you, or anything, and it's related to attendance during that time, even though you have submitted the appropriate documentation, you have went through all of the proper channels, you sat down and had this meeting with HR, with your doctor's office on the phone, you have done all those things, and they still try to come at you, baby, please. make sure you contact an attorney immediately. That's why I was telling you guys about work receipts. Okay. I did a paid ad with them, but this is not an ad. Okay. This is a real situation here that you need to put inside of work receipts. If you have a concern, right, legally, okay, or what could turn into a legal concern, I will put that inside of that app and start documenting all of the conversations that you have had with your HR representatives or with your manager. I'm not sure exactly who it is that you're having an issue with, but document that information and see if you can talk to an employment attorney and see what the options are. Because if they deem that this company is in violation of any laws, you can sue them. Okay? So if they try to come after you for attendance or it'll be attendance for like in that time period, or maybe lack of production, if your job is production based or not able to meet certain qualifications or whatever, and it's about that time, it's during the time you were out.
Running a business can be exhausting. Building your website shouldn't be. With Wix, you can express your ideas, give direction, then leave the heavy lifting to AI. From site creation to branded content and images. Have fun with the details. Customize what you want the way you want. And manage your whole business from a centralized dashboard with expert AI tools. Build, scale, and enjoy the incredible results. You can do it all yourself on Wix.
Have this surgery and recover, you need to sue their ass. Okay. Use the app, please, y'all. Work receipts, WRK receipts, and tell them how you found them, that I told you about them, because this is such a good resource. Okay. I actually reached out to the CEO. She is going to be on the podcast next month, talking about work receipts and all of the things that you can do, and just, really putting it out front, because that is a good resource, y'all. Please use that. All right, and here's our next email. This one says, "Hello, Brandy. This is Betty. Hey, Betty girl. I hope you are doing well. Ciao. I'm doing well. I'm present, but baby, I have listened to your podcast and I've learned a lot from you. I have a situation that I am not sure what to do about." Okay, let's see. "I like my job. I get benefits and good hours and a set schedule. I cannot deal with the other people I'm working with. To make a long story short, I am a housekeeper at my job. For one reason or another, a few aides that I work with don't like me and are sending complaints to my manager, and it seems like every other week. I had a meeting with my manager and it seemed to be worked out until she came to me saying that someone told her that I was using the bathroom a lot and that I'm always there. A long time ago, I explained that I have an issue from time to time and I'm not in the bathroom for that long, that often as they claimed. Okay. They have no proof. It's just he said, she said. And now she wants me to get a doctor to fill out paperwork for an accommodation that I never asked for. I am looking forward to your advice because I have no idea what to do. Thank you, Betty." Go to HR. Yeah. What the hell? Y'all, let me tell y'all something. There are some things that your manager or that HR is not good for, but keeping the company from getting fucking sued, that is the main, that's why you should go to them, because it is going to result in a lawsuit. So they're going to do everything to protect the company. Your manager cannot demand that of you. If you have not come to her and said that I have a concern, I have an issue, I'm using the bathroom, you have not come to her and said anything. It's just he said, she said. At this point, you need to document what has been happening and go to your HR. I don't know exactly what that function looks like if you are in housekeeping, because you didn't say exactly in what capacity, if it's in a hotel, if it's in a hospital. I'm not really sure, okay? But you need to contact HR of your employer. because they're going to do everything in their power to not get sued. And the manager is violating you right now. Okay? First of all, you are not required to go and get an accommodation because some people said you go to the bathroom a lot. That's what? That I'm not in the bathroom a lot. Do you have any proof of that? No, the fuck she don't. It's just he say, she say, just like you said. So right now, it's he say, she say. I have no issue. I'm not going to the restroom. Document that you are being bullied. Okay? Bullied at work. Name the names. Your manager is not handling the situation. Name the names. Put them in that fucking document and send it to HR. I am being bullied in the workplace. I am being pressured in the workplace. I have not used the bathroom or done anything outside of my normal job duties. They are bullying me. And this is another reason, y'all, why we probably should not be telling people that we got a condition, we got a this. You shouldn't have revealed that. Unless it caused you to not be able to do your job, you shouldn't have told her ass that. And you shouldn't have told anybody else. I don't know if they knew and that's the reason why they came at you like that. But this is another reason why I be telling y'all not to say, you know, I have this, or telling them you got personal things going on. If it don't really affect your job, in your opinion, it don't affect your job, period. Okay? Using the bathroom a couple times, that's regular. People use the bathroom every day. Unless you in that bathroom for an hour every time you go, that is the only time I feel like a notice should have been given. And you should have went to the doctor and got that if that is the case. If that's not the case, they're bullying, harassing, okay? And your manager is complicit. So if I were you, I would take it to HR. This is a good reason to go to HR. Harassment, bullying, possible retaliation. Girl, them is all words that can get their company sued. Organization, system. I don't know if it's a hospital system or what kind of system this is, but Betty, take it to HR immediately. And if HR does not act, this is why I'm telling y'all, if HR don't act, you need to then file your claim to the EEOC, because even though the Department of Transportation, the Department of Labor and the EEOC are kind of cut down as far as case managers, like people who can actually investigate situations, they still have to. You can still file the report. They are still required to follow up, and they have to do it within a certain amount of time. So it could be 90 to 60 days, but file the damn report. Don't just not do nothing. File it. Okay? Baby, let me tell you something. These fucking managers, they will do exactly what they think they can, because they have probably been given a lot of authority or power inside of the workplace, because there may not be a whole lot of oversight and they don't have no integrity. Okay? But your ass need to report that bitch. Report her for intimidation, bullying, them girls. She complicit in it. And whatever, I don't know if it's girls, but I feel like it is. Because we some of the most petty people in the workplace. Petty. I'm going to call out because I don't feel like being here, so I'm going to call out. But you're missing hours. You ain't hurting the people that's here. They're getting their check. I have seen people do that. I'm not going to work because I don't like her. I don't want to work with her, so I'm just calling. You just finna miss money because you don't like somebody? That's crazy. I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine just not going to work because I don't like somebody. Girl, I like the check. Okay? So, bullying, harassment, retaliation. If you have to file a report about anybody at your job, okay? And it is going to HR, you better include those type of words. Bullying, harassment, retaliation. Okay? Somewhere in that fucking email, it needs to include that, because those are trigger words for HR, for them to get off their ass and move, because they know that if they don't do anything about it, the company is going to get sued. You understand? Bullying, harassment, and retaliation. Okay? Thank you very much. And do not take your ass to the doctor to get shit for them. That is none of her business. Okay? Okay. All right, y'all. That is going to be all for today's episode. I want to say thank you so much for listening to me struggle breathe, because I know I sound a mess, but God bless you for being willing to listen. To Patreon, again, I'm going to make up that episode. Thank you so much. I will see y'all on social media. Y'all have a good ass day. Bye.
So you've got a business, but what about a brand? The difference? More of you. Wix gives you the freedom to create your website, own your brand, and do it on your own, exactly how you envisioned it. Experience limitless customization. Boost your creativity and efficiency with AI tools for every part of your business journey. Scale up with built-in SEO, e-com, and scheduling features. Put more of you in your business. Go to Wix.com and do it all yourself.